There are lands where the boundary between earth and water is never clear. Here, the fastest does not always escape. Because in the marsh, the rules belong to the mud, to the water, and to those who understand exactly where they stand. And sometimes, just 1 foot placed in the wrong spot is enough to sink the whole game. Dawn settles gently over the Pantanal wetlands, the still water carpeted in green duckweed. Somewhere birdsong drifts through the canopy, a dragonfly lands softly on a water lily. But that tranquility is only a surface. Just beneath the duckweed, an anaconda lies concealed, its enormous body dissolving into the mud without a trace. At the western marsh edge, a capybara herd wades into shallow water to graze. The largest rodents in the world, they move slowly, each step sinking deep into the mud. One capybara separates a few steps from the group, lowering its muzzle down precisely to where the anaconda is hidden. Picking up the signal, the anaconda glides forward without a ripple, closing the distance from 2 meters to 1. It does not lunge, only presses silent. The marsh surface explodes. The anaconda surges upward, coiling around the prey's body and the capybara lies still in the shallow mud. The anaconda loosens its coils, turns the carcass to face its mouth, the two halves of the jaw separating, alternating to draw the meal inside. The anaconda lies half submerged in mud, belly distended, eyes half closed. But the marsh does not only hide danger beneath the mud, it also hides those that wait on the branches above. At the eastern marsh edge, the water is shallower and clearer. A heron wades slowly through the water, neck drawn in, eyes tracking each fish shadow, then suddenly drives its beak downward. After catching several fish, it flies back to a low nest branch at the water's edge, where its entire brood is waiting to be fed. But directly below the branch, where mud meets water, a pair of eyes silently rises to the surface. A black caiman has been lying in ambush for some time, waiting for anything that might fall within reach. The heron leans forward to feed its young. One chick loses its balance and tumbles off the edge into the mud. The caiman immediately lunges, biting across the body and thrashing violently. A wing snaps crooked, legs hang limp. The caiman drags its prey down into the murky water. The surface bubbles for a few seconds, then flattens. Only a few white feathers bobbing at the bank's edge remain. The heron is barely a snack for the nearly 2-meter body. The caiman raises its eyes again and waits for the next opportunity. Along the northern bank, a larger shape is moving. That is far more worthwhile prey, but this time the other has something the heron did not. Long legs, and the marsh is about to switch sides. At midday, a marsh deer grazes at the water's edge. Its wide splayed hooves, like paddles, turn the deadly mudflat into its own home ground. The caiman weaves beneath the duckweed, eyes locked on the deer. It slides out of the water, belly skimming the mud, quietly closing the distance from 10 meters to 5. The deer raises its head and spots the hunter, but instead of bolting toward hard ground, it turns and runs straight into the shallow open water of the marsh, where the further the caiman chases, the slower it becomes. What seemed like the caiman's domain turns out to be a reverse trap, Without enough water to swim, it flounders in the soft mud, unable to keep pace with the splaying feet ahead. The caiman stops in the middle of the mud pool, watching the prey disappear with nothing it can do. Drawn away from deep water, the fearsome predator is reduced to a heavy body run aground. The deer pauses in the shallows, glances back unhurriedly, then lowers its head to graze on duckweed. In the distance, the caiman quietly slides back toward deeper water, leaving behind the mud that just betrayed it. The caiman sinks to the bottom, hunger still unanswered, the heron too small, the deer too quick. Then a new vibration moves through the water, heavy, slow, steady footfalls. The deer just escaped through the advantage of its own body. But the creature now approaching the western bank is an entirely different opponent. A stocky, South American peccary pushing heavily through the grass at the marsh edge. On firm ground, it could outpace the caiman with ease. But the moment those short legs touch the soft mud, every advantage instantly disappears. The distance closes without the prey realizing it. The caiman stops 2 meters away, more patient than ever. This time, it is determined not to strike too early. When the peccary lifts a leg to step back, the mud grips it for half a second. That is all the caiman needed. It launches upward, clamps onto the leg, and yanks the prey hard toward the water. The caiman drags its prey down into the murky water, then pins it firmly to the bottom. The duckweed slowly closes over the surface, and before long the marsh is flat and still again. This time the caiman feeds. From the small heron, to the deer that escaped, to the peccary that sank. In this marsh, it is the terrain that decides who survives. The bank lies quiet. The anaconda stretches its swollen belly to the west. The caiman rests fed beneath the water. The deer grazes far off on duckweed, and a few heron feathers drift on the surface. The afternoon sun drops low over the Pantanal, black clouds gathering along the western horizon. The rainy season is coming, and when it arrives, the marsh will rewrite every rule that held today. Rain pours down, each heavy drop striking the marsh surface into countless rings of ripple. Duckweed bobs, mud loosens, and the boundary between bank and water gradually disappears. Rising water swallows the familiar mud edges. The hollow where the anaconda hid is now submerged. The spot where the heron fell has merged into the current, and the mud hole that trapped the peccary is flat and gone. The old mud thins away, new mud invading the firm ground. The peccary's safe zone shrinks. The caiman's hunting range spreads wider. The balance of the morning has shifted direction. Carried by the rising water, the anaconda drifts to a deeper mud hole. Its old hiding place is gone. A new one forms, forcing every prey animal to relearn where the safe boundaries lie. The water surface is wider now. With every inch the water rises, the distance from the marsh surface to firm ground grows shorter, narrowing the retreat of every prey. The marsh deer stands in the shallows. Wherever the water rises, the strip of ground at the marsh edge retreats with it, closing the escape route of every creature that relies on it. Tomorrow, all creatures will return to their familiar paths along the marsh. But every mud edge, every stretch of bank has quietly shifted after one night of rain. The shallow water that once saved the deer is deeper now. The mud that once concealed the anaconda has drifted elsewhere. Everything that seemed familiar has already changed. The caiman raises both eyes above the water surface again, waiting for the first vibration. A new day of hunting begins on a marsh that is now entirely different. Because in the Pantanal, the one that endures is not the strongest. It is the one that reads the land the fastest. A land that never stays the same 2 days in a row. Dawn over the Serengeti paints the plains golden to the horizon. Air seemingly quiet, but beneath, every creature has begun moving. Every creature here lives under one law: hunt or be hunted. But that boundary isn't fixed, always changing with each moment. This morning, in an acacia tree amid grassland, a small bird nest hides in high branches. 2 chicks, days old, huddled together, waiting for mother. But when mother bird is absent, a gap immediately appears. Another creature silently climbs from tree base up in absolute silence. Black mamba, over 2.5 meters long, among Africa's fastest snakes. Extremely powerful venom, but now it doesn't need to use it. Chicks cannot run. It presses close to nest edge, head entering inside, preparing to attack. Panicked chick cries immediately ring out, tearing morning silence. That cry doesn't vanish into thin air. 50 meters away, a creature foraging immediately raises head. Mother secretary bird has heard her young. Secretary bird, over 1 meter tall, famous for snake hunting ability. Long stilt-like legs with hard talons create stomps with force 5 times body weight. It charges toward the acacia, long legs striding powerfully through grassland, wings beating hard, taking flight. It doesn't run but flies, reaching tree base in just seconds. It sees the snake right in the nest, head already in attack position. Mother bird doesn't hesitate, immediately lunging onto lower branches, closing in from above. Mamba withdraws head from nest, opens mouth threatening, revealing characteristic black mouth interior. But secretary bird doesn't back down. First stomp strikes down middle of snake body. Mamba writhes violently, coiling back, seeking chance to bite back. But mother bird withdraws leg faster. Mamba falls from branch, striking ground. Secretary bird lunges after, stomps several more times, confirming target motionless, then returns to check nest. In just minutes, the hunter became prey. Mamba fallen under secretary bird's feet, speed and venom don't always beat precision and experience. But the reversal chain on the plains hasn't stopped there. At Serengeti's edge, the river is where advantage can vanish after just one wrong step. A male lion advances to riverbank. Dark brown mane, rippling muscles, over 200 kilograms of pure strength, only coming to drink after a long night. It lowers head, muzzle touches a river surface, slowly drinking water. Eyes half closed, vigilance decreases, a rare state for the plains' apex. A few meters away, two pairs of eyes have already surfaced on water. Nile crocodile ambushed at bottom since early morning, waiting for prey to step into attack range. Water surface explodes. Crocodile lunges up, clamping tight on lion's muzzle, then pulling hard underwater, where Grassland King's advantage immediately vanishes. Lion roars, bites back at crocodile's mouth. Over 200 kilograms of muscle on land, resisting 500 kilograms pulling force underwater. Surrounding lions don't dare approach. Crocodile spins around. Death roll pulls lion's head underwater, when claws and large fangs nearly lose effect. But male lion isn't ordinary prey. It pulls crocodile to shallow water, front legs striking back at crocodile, beginning to find way to retreat onto shore. After over a minute of struggle, lion gets ashore, but crocodile still bites its tail. Lion jerks hard one last time, springs back onto shore. Only a bite clamping on empty air remains. Lion lies on shore, breathing heavily, muzzle torn. It stands turning back, walking away, understanding that every kingdom has borders. Underwater, crocodile silently sinks to bottom. Hunt failed, but that patient ambusher will still wait for next less fortunate prey. Male lion moves far from river. Brown mane long since dried. 200 kilograms, still majestic. But blood scent spreading on a wind is signal opportunists won't miss. It stops amid grassland, lies down, licking wounds. Pain still present, but cleaning is mandatory because infection can kill slower than fangs and claws. Not far away, spotted hyena pack, humped shoulders, has scented lion blood spreading on wind. This is both rare prize and revenge opportunity. Spotted hyenas have top bite force among carnivores, enough to crush buffalo bones. One individual cannot face male lion, but entire pack is different. Hyena pack advances, forming encirclement. Laughing sounds ring out like coordination signals. Male lion raises head, recognizing it's surrounded. It stands roaring loudly, brown mane bristling, displaying authority. But pain remains, and hyena pack recognizes this is an injured individual. They advance further. A few lunge biting hind legs, then retreat probing. Lion counterattacks, but bite misses due to pain. Hyena pack immediately recognizes that sluggishness. Others begin from behind, biting thighs and tail. Each time lion turns around, another direction gets attacked, making defense gradually collapse. Male lion resists fiercely. One swipe hurls hyena far away, but remaining ones continue tightening circle, taking turns biting, making it gradually exhaust. After minutes, lion slows, hind leg buckles slightly. Hyena pack recognizes advantage. Laughing sounds intensify. Attack rhythm faster. Ending approaching. Then another roar tears through space, deeper and stronger. Entire hyena pack immediately freezes, turns looking toward grassland. From afar, another male lion appears, larger and stronger, dark black mane. It charges straight into formation, breaking encirclement, forcing hyena pack to immediately reassess situation. Black-maned male lion swipes nearest hyena, making it tumble. Next strike tears shoulder of one biting injured lion. Hyena pack immediately breaks formation. Entire pack turns, retreating, no longer maintaining coordination. Injured one runs slower. In an instant, battle completely reverses. Two male lions stand close together. Injured one, breathing heavily, bites overlapping. The other vigilantly surveys surroundings. Alliance helps them overcome all dangers. On the plains, size creates advantage, but alliance is the factor determining long-term survival ability. In Africa, crocodiles are lords underwater. But across the Atlantic, in South America's Pantanal wetlands, relationship between big cats and reptiles operates differently. In shallow water area, Cayman crocodile sunbathes. After meal, head and back protruding, in state of lost vigilance, it exposes weakness at skull apex. Above water's edge, on low overhanging branch, jaguar is observing. This is big cat famous for hunting cayman, with skull-piercing bite from above. Weighing over 100 kilograms, jaguar possesses bite force superior to body size, enough to pierce turtle shell and cayman skull. It doesn't need speed, only one precise strike. Jaguar doesn't jump from branch, but slides down to water's edge, walking underwater in absolute silence, closing on cayman in just meters. At 1 meter remaining, it compresses entire body, hind legs pressing deep into mud. Cayman still motionless, completely unaware of danger right above skull. Jaguar bursts from water surface, lunging onto prey's back and sinking jaws straight into skull apex, piercing through bone into brain. Cayman jerks once, then motionless. In just seconds, everything ends. Jaguar holds jaws tight to confirm prey, then drags heavy carcass, wading back through shallow water to high shore. In Africa, Nile crocodiles dominate water surface, where even lions must avoid. In South America, cayman faces cat that doesn't fear water, can be brought down by one precise strike. Dusk descends on two continents. In Serengeti, two male lions lie close together under tree canopy. In Pantanal, jaguar vanishes into forest. Each carries its own story. In nature, every reversal begins with one small mistake: choosing wrong position, wrong timing, or wrong opponent. On the plains, there's no absolute ruler. Lions strong on land but weak underwater. Crocodiles dominate rivers but inferior on shore. Mamba fastest still loses to secretary bird. Hyenas strong jaws but lose to lion alliance. And that cycle never stops. Tomorrow morning, another individual will try its luck again, and just one small deviation is enough to create different outcome. Survivors continue moving. Secretary bird protects nest. Lions rest under canopy. Jaguar hides on high branch. Hyenas return to pack with still fresh wounds. Dusk gradually fades over Serengeti. Cricket sounds replace bird calls. Wind carries scent of wet grass. River shifts from orange to purple, yielding to night. Survivors prepare for darkness. Secretary bird guards young. Lions lie close together. Jaguar licks muzzle on high branch across the ocean. Wind gradually erases all traces. Ants clean bones. Water washes blood. Grass covers claw marks. When night falls, plains return to empty state. As last light leaves the Serengeti, plains whisper with thousand sounds of transition. In Africa or South America, the law unchanging. No absolute predator, only moments, positions, and mistakes enough to reverse everything. Afternoon sun pours into the Luangwa River Gorge, murky yellow light illuminating vertical rock faces covered in damp moss where space is suspiciously silent. A few kingfishers dive to the water surface, then dart up, only wing beats echoing in the gorge's quietness. Everything else seemingly motionless. On the cliff edge, a lion pride stands close together, heads bowed observing, eyes not on the water, but focused on the individual in danger. Below, among smooth rocks near the water's edge, a lioness struggles to climb up, claws gripping the surface, but continuously slipping, getting closer to dangerous waters. Lions are large cats dominating many of Africa's dry ecosystems. With male lions weighing up to 180 kilograms, they top the food chain wherever they reach. But all those advantages are designed for flat terrain. On steep, slippery rock surfaces, features once advantageous become disadvantages. The lioness weighs about 130 kilograms, pulling her own body up the sloped face. Gravity quickly overwhelms pulling force, making efforts extremely exhausting. She fell while pursuing prey over the cliff edge, a small miscalculation leading to a long slide, placing her in a life-threatening situation. On the bank, the lion pride still observes. A low roar rings out, but no individual descends, because they know this rock face is a one-way trap. Below, the female tries to grip again. Front legs find footing, but the surface is unstable, pushing force insufficient to hold the body, and she slides down again. Distance to water surface continues closing. Current position not only disadvantageous in terrain, but also conceals another danger. A small ripple spreads from downstream, not from wind, not from current, but a sign of a creature slowly approaching. The lioness recognizes immediately. Eyes lock onto two black points floating on water surface. Alarm, instinct activates. Sounds emitted carry obvious tension. Two black points motionless like rotten logs gradually surfacing, but hidden below is a 4-meter body. The real danger has appeared. And it didn't come alone. Ripples appear from different directions, all heading toward the same point, the cliff base where the lion clings. To understand the danger below, one must know that the creature patiently waiting has existed millions of years, with body structure evolved optimally for hunting. Nile crocodiles reach 5 meters long and weigh over 700 kilograms. and possess bite force among the strongest of animals still existing on Earth. Their tactics rely on ambush, lying motionless for hours, then attacking extremely fast, optimizing energy and ensuring high success probability. After locking jaws, crocodiles drag prey underwater and perform the death roll, inflicting serious damage, and prey quickly loses resistance capability. They can fast for months. Each meal is a long-term investment, so when there's opportunity, they'll thoroughly consume prey. On the rock face, the lioness understands the situation clearly. Above is an unclimbable slope. Below is enemy territory. Now she's trapped between two threats. She moves horizontally along the narrow rock strip, seeking climbable points, each step carefully gripping wet rocks, eyes not leaving water surface. Each step is hope, but also risk. Below, the crocodile pod maintains stable distance, moving parallel. They're not rushing to approach, only maintaining position and waiting for more favorable conditions. The lion discovers a lower section of cliff, but must cross a 2-meter wide shallow water stretch, a short distance, but full of risk. She suddenly lunges the mound, racing quickly across the water. And in the same moment, a crocodile surges up. Jaws snap shut right where she just left, only one beat late. The lion grips rocks on the other side, struggling to pull herself up. The crocodile watches from behind underwater. This time escaped, but terrain on this side still slippery and steep, no easier at all. She continues climbing short sections, then sliding down again. Each time losing momentum, position gets closer to water surface, and safe distance gradually closes. The third slip makes hind legs touch water. The lion flinches, jumping back up, but too late. A crocodile lunges, jaws reaching for hind legs. The lion roars, concentrates force on front legs as anchor points. Shoulder muscles tense, resisting overwhelming pulling force from water surface. The struggle increasingly intense. The crocodile bites and slips. The lion escapes. The lion springs onto the rock strip, breathing heavily, while the crocodile sinks, carrying anger. The lion gradually tires and cannot stay in one place long. For crocodiles, that's a signal. They adjust positions, tighten encirclement, distance only, meters remaining. The lioness has no choice left. Cannot climb up, cannot stay. Survival space shrinks by the minute. She moves faster, abandoning fear. Each step, each short leap utilizing every remaining foothold on the slippery rock strip. The crocodiles no longer wait. They simultaneously surge up when the lion crosses the narrow water section, jaws snapping shut consecutively in splashing water. The lion reaches the final rock outcrop. Ahead is the only gentle bank, but separated by a deep water section, while predators have closed in from behind. She looks at the shore, looks at the water surface, then looks at three shadows closing in and jumps down. 4 legs touch water. The lion begins swimming as fast as possible toward shore. Distance, gradually from shore, legs still touching bottom. But behind, crocodiles are accelerating. The largest submerges, disappears. This is the most dangerous moment. The lion nearly reaches shore. Front legs grip earth, pulling body up, but injured hind leg lacks strength, making her slide down, and that's all the crocodile needs. From behind, a crocodile surges up and locks jaws onto the rear section. Massive pulling force jerks the lion back into the water. The second crocodile immediately lunges in, clamping tight on front shoulder. Two pulling forces from two directions make the lion sink half submerged. Only head and one front leg protruding. The death roll begins. Lion's body dragged completely under. Water surface churns violently, then gradually settles, returning to initial calm. Water surface returns to stillness. No more sounds or movement, only a few small ripples fading on the surface. The grassland ruler has sunk from here. Above, the lion pride stands silent. Calling sounds echo down, no response. Only wind blowing through the gorge echoes back. After several tries, they fall silent. After a few minutes, one by one, leaves the cliff edge. They leave without looking back. On the plains, prolonging loss is also putting oneself at risk. Below the Luangwa River, crocodiles drag prey to the deep bottom, holding it for natural decomposition process before beginning the meal. Nile crocodiles can fast for months, and today's meal is a 130-kilogram lioness, enough to feed them for many weeks. The confrontation closes according to environmental law. When entering water, advantage belongs to water-adapted creatures. On that territory, all land advantages lose value. The lion pride loses a member. Movement rhythm and behavior will change in following days, reflecting adjustment to risk. Dusk arrives. Landscape returns to familiar state, leaving almost no clear traces of the event just occurred. The lion pride stops to rest in tall grass area, far from the river. They lie closer together, the gap of one individual becoming obvious in the silent formation. Each encounter leaves marks in blood. Later decisions will change through reflexes formed from experience. Below the river, crocodiles continue moving slowly. Eyes, nose protruding, then sinking back. The observation cycle and endless patience count again from the start. In the Luangwa ecosystem, lions and crocodiles share the food chain apex, each species dominating half the world. When boundaries are erased, advantage belongs to the side adapting better to conditions at that moment. Each rainy season, water rises. Dry season, water recedes. Boundaries continuously change. Encounters repeat. No permanent winner, only temporary adaptation. Today's lioness didn't fail from lack of strength. On land, she's the ruler. But when conditions change, mass and body structure itself become disadvantages. Conversely, crocodiles don't need to be faster or stronger in all circumstances. They only need the right environment, where their advantages are maximized. Sun sets over Luangwa. On shore, lions rest in tall grass. Below water, crocodiles hide. Two parallel worlds, meters apart, but deciding survival. Tomorrow morning, though one individual fewer, the lion pride's rhythm doesn't stop. They'll avoid the riverbank, continue hunting on grasslands, and remember dangerous boundaries. Night wind blows through the gorge, carrying scents of mud and damp grass. Traces on rocks gradually disappear. Bank edge returns as before. Nature erases what once occurred. Under moonlight, crocodiles hide in flat water. In a world where mistakes mean endings, silence sometimes is the sign of danger itself. Through the still water blanketing the surface of the marsh, where the light of dawn barely touches a few inches of the waterline, a sound of heavy breathing rises from the reeds. It is not the sound of fish breaking the surface, nor the wind moving through the grass. It is the breath of a creature, watching your every move. Okavango does not welcome you. It tests you, and whoever hesitates will not have time to understand where they went wrong. Welcome to Okavango, not a river, not a lake. This is a survival machine powered by floodwater, sunlight, and blood. A place where every flood season is a rebirth, and every nightfall is a survival contest that no one is allowed to lose. Here, humans, are only observers. No privileges, no protection. Only the naked truth of nature. Before going deeper into this journey, if you carry within you the fire of the wild, subscribe now so you never miss a thing. Because what lies ahead is not a sightseeing tour. This is a survival challenge in the heart of Africa's greatest flood delta. If Okavango has a king, it is not the species that swims the fastest. It is the species that dares to wade through deep water to claim the right to rule. With a body weighing over 200 kilograms and a jaw force exceeding 300 kilograms, the lions of Okavango bring down a water buffalo like a giant vice clamping shut and never letting go. But their true strength is not in the strike. They are population controllers that help maintain the balance between the buffalo herds and the vegetation across the entire delta. In Okavango, lions do not hunt in the usual way. They ambush from floating grass islands. Each move forward a silent chess game. The pride splits into groups. One side creates noise to herd the prey. The other lies waiting in silence. This tactic has been passed down through generations of Okavango lion prides. But this land is shrinking. Poaching and agricultural fencing fragment territories. Lion prides grow smaller and no longer carry enough genetic diversity to survive. The lions of Okavango, who have learned to live with water, are now learning to live with a threat they cannot hunt: the disappearance of their own home. Okavango draws a long breath, and in the distance, another call begins to rise. If the lion is the king of strength, then the African wild dog is the genius of the collective, the only species that wins through discipline, not muscle. Weighing only 25 kilograms, yet with a hunting success rate of up to 80%, higher than both lions and leopards. Their weapon is not fang and claw, but perfect coordination requiring no language. They are the engine of the ecosystem. Each hunt moves the prey herds, creating a cycle of rotation that allows the grasslands of Okavango to recover and spread. Before a hunt, the entire pack performs a ritual. They lick each other's faces, heads touching heads, not out of affection, but as a combat ceremony. After that, no one leaves anyone behind. They share food first with the young and the sick, the only species in Okavango that places care for others above its own needs. Fewer than 6,600 individuals remain across all of Africa. Rabies, from domestic dogs, farmers' snares, and habitat loss, are wiping out the continent's most skilled hunters. Every wild dog pack is a miniature society. When a pack disappears, it is not just animals that are lost. An entire culture of hunting built across generations is lost with them. Night falls over Okavango, and beneath the water, something older, colder, begins to move. If the lion is king on land, and the wild dog is the master tactician, then the crocodile is the primal darkness of Okavango, the species that witnessed the extinction of the dinosaurs and is still here. The crocodile's jaws generate a bite force exceeding 1,700 kilograms, more than any living creature on Earth. A single roll of the body underwater tears apart anything in just 3 seconds. But the crocodile is not only a destroyer, they are natural canal diggers. Their sleeping hollows create water pools that help hundreds of species survive through the dry season. Crocodiles do not give chase. They wait, sometimes for hours, even days, until the prey steps close enough that no escape remains. When they strike, there is no warning, no running start, only the water breaking open for one beat, and everything is already over. Despite existing for over 200 million years, the crocodiles of Okavango are losing their habitat. Water pollution and agricultural land conversion are shrinking the living space of the oldest surviving reptile on Earth. A species that has survived 5 mass extinctions now faces a threat that no evolution can defend against: human indifference. The water surface goes flat again, but just nearby, a heavier breath, a larger body, begins to rise. But the story does not stop with predators. As we leave the shallows, another world begins to reveal itself. The world of the giants that lie beneath the surface. This is the deep water of Okavango, where light does not reach the bottom, and anyone who enters cannot determine where they stand in the food chain. The floodwater does not only bring fish and plants, it brings the hippopotamus, a species weighing 4 tons, the most aggressive and most important creature in the entire delta ecosystem. If the crocodile is the silent darkness, then the hippopotamus is a moving storm. And the next part of this journey will take us straight into the eye of that storm. The hippo does not need to hunt to become the most dangerous creature in Okavango. It is dangerous simply because it exists, and no species is allowed to forget that. Weighing over 4 tons, capable of running at 30 kilometers per hour on land, jaws that open to 180 degrees. Hippos kill more people in Africa than any other large animal, including lions. But the hippo is a nutrient pump. Every day they deposit hundreds of kilograms of organic matter into Okavango, feeding the algae, feeding the fish, and sustaining the entire food chain below. Male hippos mark territory by spinning their tails and spraying dung, the clearest and most undeniable boundary language Okavango has ever known. When territory is violated, there is no negotiation. Two males crash into each other, jaw against jaw, the sound of impact splitting the air until one submits or flees. But hippos are disappearing. Prolonged drought, declining flood levels, and ivory poaching are pushing this species toward the endangered list. An Okavango without hippos would be a dead river. Newborn hippo calves need clean water to breathe. When the water is polluted, when flood levels no longer rise high enough, the survival rate of the next generation drops to catastrophic levels. The water rises, the water recedes, and in that cycle, nothing is permanent. Every strength has its limit, every territory has its end. Here, speed no longer matters, strength no longer matters. The survivor is the one who can read Okavango, knowing when to be still, when to strike, when to step back. Tonight, the lions have cornered a buffalo herd at the water's edge. The crocodiles are waiting below. The wild dogs stand at the rim of the darkness. And the hippos do not care about any of them. A sound. The buffalo herd breaks in every direction. Water explodes upward. And in that chaos, Okavango takes its share, as it has done for millions of years. The loser of tonight will vanish without a trace. Only the ripple of water spreading outward, and the silence of Okavango answers everything. Everything you have just witnessed is not a collection of separate stories. Okavango is a living organism, and every species is an irreplaceable cell within it. Lions control the buffalo herds. Wild dogs distribute prey across the territory. Crocodiles dig canals. Hippos nourish the water. Switch off one, and the entire system will tilt. Okavango does not exist because of floodwater. It exists because of balance. A balance rewritten over millions of years, now being erased in just a few centuries. And when one link disappears, it is not just one species that is lost. It is an entire ecological symphony that has never been written before and will never be written again. But the most dangerous creature in Okavango is not the lion, not the crocodile, not the hippo. It is us, the only species that destroys without needing to be hungry. Hydroelectric systems upstream are regulating the flow. Less floodwater means less grassland, fewer fish, less life, diminishing at every level, multiplying downward. Poaching does not only kill animals, it shatters social structures. Lion prides lose their leaders, wild dog packs lose their memory, hippos lose their guide generation. And the price to be paid is not only nature's to bear. When Okavango dies, the millions of people who depend on its water and tourism will lose everything. When the lion's roar fades into the night, when the wild dog pack disappears behind the curtain of grass, when the water surface returns to calm as though nothing ever happened. The question that remains is not, what have we discovered? It is, do we have enough time to change? Before the answer becomes a permanent silence. What will we have left when Okavango no longer floods? When the greatest survival machine in Africa finally runs out of fuel? Okavango is still here, still flowing, still alive. But for how long? depends on the answer we choose to give today. If this journey has made you shudder, left you unsettled, or simply made it impossible to look at Okavango the same way again, leave a comment below. And until next time, at the next brutal survival arenas, where nature does not ask if you are ready, the grassland of southern Africa, in the middle of the dry season, earth cracked open in great patches, grass burned flat, and the last water source vanished many weeks ago. But deep beneath the dry surface, a creature still exists. Its body nearly shut down, metabolism drastically reduced to hold on to its last reserves of moisture. Through months without eating or drinking, heart beating slowly, waiting for the familiar signal that will wake the body back to life. The sky to the west begins to darken, black clouds rolling low and carrying a damp wind. Then the first drops of rain fall onto the dry earth and seep into the cracks. The rain grows heavier, softening the parched soil, water pooling in small patches across the cracked surface, carrying moisture and new vitality to the arid land. Then the earth stirs. A crack widens, mud bursts upward, and from below, a large head with amber eyes slowly rises after months of concealment. The African bullfrog has a body as dense as a mass of muscle sunk in mud, jaws occupying nearly half its head, lined with small spike-like teeth. Once prey has entered, there is no escape. A body not built for running, it only needs to lie still and wait for prey to come to it. And after months of starvation, the hunting instinct rises back with full force. Small insects crawl across the wet mud. Another bullfrog lies watching the ground, its body blending almost completely into the mud color. A millipede passes close. The bullfrog's mouth snaps open, tongue fires out, jaws close. From the moment the prey touches down to the moment it disappears takes half a second. 10 minutes. Dozens of insects have vanished. The frog makes use of the brief rainy days to rapidly recover the energy burned away through the entire dry season. But insects are only the appetizer. For them, anything that fits in the mouth is food. And around the newly formed water pools, larger prey gradually appears. A field mouse steps out from the wet grass, searching for seeds along the water's edge, nose down low, completely unaware that death is waiting just ahead. It takes one more step, then the mud explodes. The frog's mouth snaps open, swallowing the mouse whole, locking every struggle down with the sharp teeth lining its mouth. The eyeballs press downward to help push the prey deeper into the throat. The mouse disappears, hind legs kicking weakly, then going still. The belly swells, but the mouth is already ready for the next one. 2 weeks after the rain, the savanna is drying again. Insects and small reptiles are more active, and the bullfrog has left the water pool, sitting motionless like a lump of dry mud on the red earth. A small snake slides past, just 20 centimeters away, tongue flickering, head raised to probe the environment. It is still too small to recognize the danger directly in front of it. The snake glides across the frog's field of view. A strike launches upward, misses. Red earth flies up as the prey attacks and tries to find a way out. The second lunge lands true. Jaws lock onto the head. Spiked teeth drive deep. The snake's body coils and tightens around the frog, but is pressed flat against the ground. The frog begins to swallow. The grassland returns to quiet. The frog, lying still under the warm sun, belly rounded and full, beginning the slow process of digestion after a series of heavy meals under the sunlight slowly returning. The rainy season brings not only food, but the opportunity to breed, when all activity must happen quickly before the last drop of water disappears. At the largest water pool in the area, dozens of males gather, throats swelling as deep calls roll across the savanna, drawing females and staking out control of the breeding center. The strongest male holds the central position where the water is deepest, while others ram, press, and bite each other to win the only chance to continue their lineage. When the female arrives, mating is quick. Eggs are fertilized immediately and cling to moss and grass, beginning a life cycle that must outrace the receding water. Tadpoles hatch, thousands of tiny bodies swimming frantically in the warming pool, eating algae and each other to grow, because their life cycle is shorter than the pool sustaining them. Many weeks pass, the harsh sun returns, the pool shrinks day by day from a wide pond to a small puddle. Tadpoles packed together in a life source that is steadily running out. And in the middle of the shrinking pool, the father frog stays. He looks at the mud ridge dividing two pools of water, then quietly uses his hind legs to break through the mud, channeling his young through to the water on the other side. After hours of digging mud, under the blazing sun, his strength is spent, skin dry, eyes half closed. Yet he has held on to the chance of life for thousands of tadpoles. A smaller frog enters the territory being guarded. But for the bullfrog, a smaller member of its own species can sometimes also become food. The lunge happens quickly and decisively. As the dry season turns back, the instinct to protect and the instinct to hunt exist within the same body. Tadpoles begin to grow legs, some metamorphosing into frogs in fewer than 3 weeks, fingernail-sized, leaving the muddy pool to step into the high-risk world above the waterline. But the moment they reach the bank, the young frogs face hunting birds, snakes around the water's edge, and other adult frogs, because when hungry, this species does not distinguish its own kind. Most do not survive the first week. Of thousands of eggs, only a few will still be alive by the following rainy season, but those that remain will grow into monsters like their father. The pool has dried completely. The last tadpoles have left, and the father frog gazes silently at the empty patch of earth, sitting at the edge of dry mud, sensing the heat of the dry season slowly returning. Then the old instinct wakes. It begins to dig, hind legs driving hard, body sinking gradually into the hardening mud, preparing for the next long sleep. Mud slowly covers the back, the head, then both eyes, leaving behind a water-retaining membrane that gradually encases the body like a survival cocoon for the dry months ahead. The earth cracks open again, grass burns flat under the scorching sun, the water pools vanish entirely, and deep below the dry ground, the bullfrog lies still with a slowing heart, waiting for the next rain. A young frog that survived the rainy season sits near the drying bank. No larger than a coin, it has just caught its first ant. Life starts here. If it survives the first dry season, it will burrow into a mud cocoon like its parents, then emerge after the rains, larger, stronger, with a mouth that grows wider with every hunting season. The hot wind sweeps across the savanna. The cracked, dry earth is completely silent, but deep below, hundreds of bullfrogs lie still inside their own water-retaining membranes. And that is how the African bullfrog survives. The most voracious predator on the savanna is also the one that buries itself in a sleep lasting many months, just to exchange it for a handful of opportunities. Field mice still search for seeds. Grass snakes still hunt, completely unaware that the danger sleeping beneath their feet needs only one rain to open its mouth. The rainy season will return, perhaps soon, perhaps late. But without needing to know the timing, it only needs to feel the first vibration when water touches the earth. The first raindrop will fall, the earth will soften, pools will form, insects will surge, and from beneath the cracks, amber eyes will open again, beginning a new hunting season. But for now, the grassland is still dry and hot, and deep beneath the dark earth, it still lies there, waiting. The ground trembles faintly. Not rain yet, only wind moving through the grass. But sooner or later, the water will return, and it will be here when that happens. As the darkness finally yields to the break of dawn, the African savanna wakes up in silence. A thin mist still lingers on the dry grass. Under the sparse acacia trees, the space remains quiet. There is nothing yet to suggest that today will be any different from thousands of days before. From the bushes, a pair of golden eyes opens. Though not yet moving, the body is already in a state of readiness, not because of danger, but because of instinct. This is a land where every species participates in a common game. No rules are written, but everyone understands their boundaries. The Cape porcupine, Hystrix africa australis, moves along a path it has memorized from many nights before. Each footstep is steady, without haste. A layer of quills covering from neck to tail reaches up to 30 centimeters long. They are not for attacking, but a defense system formed through tens of millions of years of evolution. This rodent is primarily nocturnal, living in pairs or small groups. They forage on the ground, digging for roots and tubers to maintain energy. Upon detecting a strange sound, the porcupine stops abruptly. The quills on its back rise in less than a second, a reflex that requires no thought. In the ecosystem, porcupines play a significant role. Their burrows become shelters for many other species when the dry season arrives. It emerges from the burrow, lifting its head. The air carries a strange scent. Something in the distance is shifting that only its nose can perceive. Not far away, under the acacia canopy, a young individual watches. Less than 2 years old, it is making its first independent hunting decision. marking the transition from dependence to self-reliance. The leopard moves step by step, hiding itself in the grassland. The savanna does not know that a script is about to unfold, and no one can predict the outcome. It should be noted that this young leopard is in the process of maturing. All its skills need to be honed through experience, sometimes at the cost of pain. The leopard, Africa's most versatile, solitary predator, capable of climbing trees, swimming, and adapting to almost any environment. This leopard lacks enough experience to distinguish familiar prey from prey that carries potential risks. It looks at the porcupine and sees only an opportunity. Each porcupine quill is a hollow keratin fiber, sharp and featuring backward-facing barbs. Once embedded in soft tissue, they pull themselves deeper with every movement of the victim. The leopard has speed, strength, and claws. The porcupine has an armor that cannot be pierced by conventional approaches. This is a match where strategy is more important than strength. The porcupine continues to move, unaware of the approaching danger. But instinct begins to register signals. The pace slows. The head tilts slightly. When the distance is 20 meters, the porcupine recognizes the change in its environment. It bristles its quills and runs toward the grass thicket ahead. The distance closes to 10 meters. The grass is still. The wind stops. In that moment, the savanna seems to hold its breath, along with the two creatures facing each other. The leopard lunges. The porcupine's reflex is instantaneous. Its back turns toward the attacker, quills standing upright like a living fence. But the leopard is too close to stop. The leopard recoils. One or two quills have pierced its front paw. It looks down, licking the paw, an action not of calm, but of confusion. The porcupine does not flee. Instead, it continuously pivots to keep the quills pointed toward its opponent. This is the optimal strategy after millions of years of evolution. The leopard continues to approach from the front, exactly the direction the porcupine is defending most strongly. It hasn't realized that the quillless part is at the head, not the rear. The second time, the leopard lunges from a side angle. The porcupine pivots in time. A quill stabs into the leopard's cheek. A short hiss, not from the porcupine. The pain is much clearer than before. But during that pivot, the porcupine failed to maintain a perfect defensive heading. A part of its body without quills was exposed for a few seconds. Fortunately, the leopard was not focused enough to capitalize. Both sides stop. The leopard breathes heavily. The porcupine still turns slowly, patiently. Neither side wants to leave first, as the price to pay grows steadily larger. The leopard begins to circle. The porcupine follows every step closely. The turning circle tightens. This is no longer a simple hunt. It is a test of patience and technique. The leopard tries a third time, this time from above, attempting to use its weight to pin the porcupine to the ground. But quills do not distinguish the angle of attack. The result remains unchanged. In a fit of desperation, the leopard bites the porcupine's body. That was the final mistake of the day. Quills embed deeply into its gums and tongue, so much so that it cannot close its mouth immediately. With quills stuck in its mouth and at least 3 others in its paws, the leopard's ability to hunt in the coming days will be severely compromised. The porcupine does not linger. It turns away in its original direction, its footsteps steady as if nothing had happened. Its body is almost entirely intact. Porcupine quills do not inject venom. Their impact comes from physical shape. The backward barbs prevent easy removal, and infection is the greatest risk for the one stuck by them. The young leopard will carry those quills for many days. Some may migrate deeper on their own. With each passing day, the pain will teach it something no book could record. In nature, predators learn through failure just as much as through success. Every wound carries information that instinct cannot provide from the start. The porcupine's survival is not accidental. It is the result of long-term natural selection, optimizing a defense mechanism without needing to actively attack. After a few days, the leopard recovers and begins a new hunt. But every time it encounters a porcupine, it remembers that battle, making it reluctant to attack. In this world, no lesson is free. The remaining question, will today's lesson be enough to change future decisions? However, this species is facing a threat that no quill can defend against: the shrinking of habitat due to human expansion. The distribution range of the African porcupine has narrowed over several decades. They are forced to move through unfamiliar environments to find food and shelter. For the leopard, the threat is similar. Both species are adjusting their behavior in a world changing faster than evolution can keep up. What happened between the leopard and the porcupine is part of a continuous chain of lessons. Nature does not teach with words, it teaches through consequences. Both species will continue to exist in their own ways. One with perfect defensive armor, the other with a painful memory newly acquired. The savanna remains the same. Nothing changes in the big picture, but at an individual level, both leave with new knowledge learned from pain. There are no absolute winners or losers in encounters like these. There are only individuals who become better suited to the world they live in. The porcupine keeps moving. The leopard will try again with a different strategy and different prey. The savanna does not judge. It only records. After today will be another new day, each species continuing to play its irreplaceable role in a system larger than any individual. And as the light of the day's end gradually blankets the savanna, this land does not remember the names of any of them, but it keeps the traces of all. The sun has not yet reached its peak. The African grassland stretches out in silence, only the wind gliding across the yellowed grass as it bends and sways. In the distance, a small figure moves low to the ground, steady, unhurried, as though it knows exactly where it is headed. This is the morning of the animal known as the Fearless One. On this savanna, very few creatures dare to hunt alone in broad daylight. But Ironhide, this adult male honey badger, answers to no one's schedule. It moves by its own rules and its own will. The honey badger is a small carnivore belonging to the family Mustelidae, widely distributed from sub-Saharan Africa to the Indian subcontinent. Its average weight ranges from 9 to 14 kilograms. Its uniquely thick and loose skin allows the body to twist even while being held in a bite, a defensive mechanism refined by evolution over millions of years. Ironhide stops. Its nose drops close to the ground, nostrils flaring rapidly with each breath. Something in the morning air causes it to change direction. The honey badger's sense of smell can detect prey at distances far beyond what the eye can see. A single odor molecule is enough to trigger its instincts. Ironhide begins to accelerate, head lowered, tail held level, the typical hunting posture of a honey badger, signaling that it is not exploring, but closing in on a confirmed target. The scent Ironhide has picked up is no ordinary prey. It is the smell of newborn hyena cubs, creatures not yet capable of defending themselves. Up ahead, concealed behind a thorn bush, lies a complex burrow system. This is the territory of a hyena clan, one of the most organized hunting collectives in Africa. At this hour, most of the clan's adults have left to forage. Only a few females remain behind, on guard. But Ironhide seems entirely unconcerned. To understand why a 12-kilogram animal would dare approach the territory of a species with the most powerful bite force among mid-sized carnivores, we must look at the very nature of this creature. The hyena is a carnivore with one of the strongest bite forces among mid-sized predators, reaching over 1,000 pounds per square inch, enough to crush the thickest bones. Hyenas live in a matriarchal social structure. Females hold higher rank than males. Within the clan, all territorial defense decisions are coordinated collectively. Every movement of the clan reflects thousands of years of evolutionary cooperation, not the strength of any single individual, but the efficiency of the group. Bite force is not their only advantage. Hyenas can sustain a pace of 50 to 60 kilometers per hour over long distances. A chase is not meant to catch, it is meant to exhaust. Ironhide continues forward. It moves along the downwind path, keeping its own scent from drifting ahead. Step by step, the distance to the burrow closes. This is not the first time a honey badger has approached a hyena den. Field observations show that this behavior appears when food sources become scarce. Risk is always present on the honey badger's journey, but for this species, danger is not a reason to stop. It is merely a variable in the equation of survival. Ironhide crosses the outer boundary of the territory. It is now within range where any hyena can spot it and react within seconds. At the burrow entrance, the cubs lie huddled together. They are not yet capable of self-defense, still inside the den, and entirely dependent on the clan. The honey badger takes a few more steps forward. Its nose sweeps close to the ground, head tilting slightly to the right, the typical scent-tracking behavior before a strike. It has detected the cubs. A short, sharp cry rises from the hyena's burrow. A cub is pulled out into the light, and in an instant, the stillness of the grassland vanishes entirely. The nearest female hyena raises her head, both ears standing straight up. She immediately understands this is no sound of wind or playful cubs. It is a warning sign of danger. Within seconds, the mother hyena lets out a series of low, drawn-out whoop calls. The signal carries far across the plain, calling other clan members to return immediately. Ironhide turns around. Behind it, the hyena clan is accelerating from two directions, while ahead lies only open ground with nowhere to hide. Surrounded in that moment, the honey badger drops the cub and turns to face the threat. Its survival instinct chooses to fight rather than flee. The mother hyena moves straight to the cub, lifts it gently in her jaws, and pulls it back toward the burrow. Meanwhile, the two remaining hyenas advance on Ironhide. For the hyenas, securing the cub is only the first step. Once the vulnerable individual is safe, the clan typically coordinates to eliminate the intruder from their territory. Ironhide does not run. Hackles raised, back lowered, jaws wide open, a full combat stance. For this animal, escape sometimes begins with confrontation. The hyenas take turns attacking. The honey badger spins in half a second and bites back into the nearest muzzle. The hyena recoils, not from pain, but from surprise. This is the moment where the honey badger achieves something rare in nature, making a much larger animal pause. For a few seconds, the hyena clan hesitates. But that pause does not last. One hyena moves in from behind, while another draws its attention from the front. Ironhide is bitten on the face and rear flank. It spins quickly and bites back. The loose skin allows the twist, but cannot hold off two sets of jaws at once. In a multi-opponent confrontation, endurance is the deciding factor. Ironhide can tolerate pain far beyond the ordinary, but it cannot compensate for a sustained numerical disadvantage. Ironhide begins to retreat toward the edge of the hyena's encirclement, step by careful step. It searches for a gap to break through, as the gray-brown ring slowly tightens. This is the hallmark of the hyena encirclement tactic. No need for a decisive strike. Simply maintain pressure, cut off the escape route, and wait for the opponent to exhaust itself from within. Ironhide bites back once more, fierce, but unable to create any distance. Energy drains steadily, each rotation of the body costing more than the last. In nature, the line between life and death rarely arrives suddenly. Sometimes it comes slowly, through each shortened breath of a creature still in the fight. Ironhide still stands, still turning to face the nearest attacker. Its deepest instinct will not allow it to fall while it can still fight. The hyena clan coordinates a final assault. Force converges from three directions at once. And this time, the honey badger no longer has the speed to break free. Ironhide goes down. The hyena clan gathers around the one who dared invade their territory. The grassland returns to silence after everything has been decided. In field observations, honey badgers attacking hyena dens is not uncommon. The outcome typically depends on how many clan members are present at the time. Outside the burrow, the hyena cubs lie still. They do not yet understand what has just taken place out there. They only know that their mother's familiar presence is still close beside them. Adult male honey badgers have an average lifespan of 7 to 10 years in the wild. In that time, they may face lions, leopards, and venomous snakes, and most of the time, they survive. Today is simply an exception. But the fall of one individual does not mean the fall of a species. Elsewhere, on the grassland, another honey badger is still digging into a beehive, hunting, and continuing the cycle of survival. On this grassland, there is no permanent victory. Each day is only a series of survival choices, where every species, from hyena to honey badger, plays its role in an ecosystem far greater than any single individual. In the scorching semi-desert, a pit viper lies motionless on a rock, 2 heat-sensing pits between its eyes and nostrils continuously scanning the environment around it. In its world, every warm-blooded creature appears as a moving point of light against the cool stone. Mice, lizards, and ground-foraging birds alike. A mouse steps out from a thorn bush about 30 centimeters away, completely silent. But the faint heat radiating from its body is already clearly visible in the predator's sensory system. The snake strikes with blinding speed, fangs driving precisely into the mouse's neck before the prey even has time to realize when it was first detected. The venom begins breaking down the prey's tissue from the inside. By the time the snake swallows, decomposition has already run ahead of the stomach. As swallowing begins, the snake's flexible jaw gradually widens to draw the entire mouse body inward in slow but precise alternating contractions. But heat sensing is not the only way snakes dominate the ground. Elsewhere, a giant hunts using nothing but muscle and patience sustained over hours. In the dry season, beside a river, most of the African rock python's body lies submerged in the mud at the water's edge, exposing only its eyes as it waits quietly for prey to draw near. A herd of impala slowly approaches the waterline. One female separates from the group and lowers her head to drink right at the edge of the mud, the exact spot where the python has been lying in ambush all morning. The mud surface explodes as the python launches upward, its backward curving teeth locking onto the prey's neck, while rings of muscle instantly coil around the ribcage, completely suppressing any movement. No crushing of bones, no tearing of flesh. It simply locks down each breath in turn until the impala goes still and the water's edge sinks back into silence. The python widens its jaws and alternately draws each section of the impala's body into its stomach over nearly an hour before lying motionless to digest over the following weeks. The python slides into the water, half submerged, eyes closed. Powerful stomach acid will dissolve bones, horn, and hooves, but this requires days of total stillness, and that is also the moment of greatest vulnerability. Across the savanna, not every snake needs to crush its prey to death. Some need only a single bite for neurotoxic venom to complete the rest of the hunt. The black mamba, nearly 3 meters long, with extreme speed on the ground and enough venom to kill animals many times its own size. This afternoon, a mamba is moving through low grass when a secretary bird spots it and blocks its path with thick scaled legs built for hunting snakes. The mamba immediately raises its head and opens its characteristically black mouth, while the secretary bird slowly circles just outside striking range, forcing its opponent to constantly pivot to track it. The mamba suddenly strikes forward, but the bird sidesteps and delivers a thundering kick to the fully extended body. The mamba strikes again, this time low and close to the ground, targeting the unscaled thigh of the secretary bird. Its fangs find their mark, causing the bird to recoil, its steps beginning to falter. The secretary bird gradually withdraws from the confrontation and turns to leave, the first time it has chosen to retreat. The mamba lowers its head and glides away in the opposite direction, letting the venom complete the rest. But not every confrontation with a mamba ends cleanly. This morning, a brown eagle nearly paid with its life after letting a black mamba coil tight around its wing. The mamba could not find an angle to bite through the thick neck feathers. It loosens its coils to reposition, and the eagle immediately seizes the opening, wings beating erratically as it breaks free from the ground. Those are 3 capabilities that snakes have evolved to dominate the ground. But evolution did not stop there. In the tropical rainforest of Southeast Asia, one species has left the ground behind entirely. Tropical rainforest blanketed in dense leaf canopy and heat rising from the warm earth below. On a branch 30 meters up, a slender green body lies motionless in the light filtering through the canopy. The flying snake has no wings and no gliding membrane, but when it launches from a branch, its body flattens, biflattens, and spreads wide, then glides through the open air like a living ribbon through the ancient forest. 10 meters, then 15 meters, it glides between canopy layers without touching the ground, faster than climbing and safer than descending into a world full of predators below. Landing on a branch, the flying snake coils itself, flicks its tongue to pick up scent, then follows a lizard through the canopy, a race between wingless creatures. But whether hunting by gliding, constricting, or striking, every snake faces the same challenge: swallowing prey whole and intact without hands to tear it apart or teeth to chew. Beyond hunting, snakes possess another trait rarely found elsewhere in the animal kingdom: shedding their entire old skin in a single piece from head to tail. Rubbing its head against rough rock and then pushing forward, the old skin gradually inverts and peels back, revealing a fresh layer of bright new scales beneath. Shedding is not only about allowing the body to continue growing, it also eliminates parasites, bacteria, and accumulated damage, like a rebirth from within the old skin. In the days before shedding, they are nearly blind as the old skin covers their eyes, making the body sluggish and more vulnerable to attack than at any other time. For this reason, they typically hide in rock crevices, dark burrows, or hollow tree bases for many days at a stretch, until the old skin has fully slipped away and their eyes are ready for the next hunt. Heat sensing, constriction, venom injection, aerial gliding, swallowing prey whole, or shedding an entire skin. Any one of these abilities alone is enough for a snake to dominate its own environment. In the semi-desert, the pit viper still lies on the warm rock, waiting for the next heat signature. Farther on, the rock python with a belly stretched tight and heavy after its hunt. Elsewhere on the savanna, the black mamba has vanished into the low grass, while the flying snake continues to coil among the canopy of the tropical rainforest. On the dry rock, the shed skin lies behind like a final trace of one act of rebirth, before ants drag it away and it disappears entirely from nature. Over 3,000 species of snakes exist across nearly every continent. No legs, no wings, no external ears, yet older than most mammal species alive today. What they share is a body that never stops growing. After each shed, bones lengthen, muscles thicken, and the new version is always larger than before. The pit viper that hunts mice today will one day hunt rabbits. The mamba will eventually bring down an eagle in the next confrontation. Every living snake is a draft of a larger version to come. And somewhere on this planet, an egg has just cracked open, a forked tongue tasting the air for the first time before learning how to hunt and survive. Within a few weeks, it will strike for the first time, constrict for the first time, swallow for the first time. And if it survives the first year, the first shed skin will be smaller than a human hand. The final one may stretch longer than 5 meters. They leave behind no roar and no territory to assert their existence. Only shed skins as evidence that the body continues to grow after each act of survival. When the last ray of sunlight leaves the ground, the wind carries a thin, light snakeskin drifting across the grassland. It will tear and vanish, but the creature that shed it has already grown larger and is moving on toward the next hunt. The dry season arrives. The Serengeti grassland falls silent in a different way, not empty, but the kind of silence before something great begins. Hundreds of thousands of zebras are moving southward. This is the greatest migration on Earth, and not one of them is allowed to stop. Among the herd, calves just a few weeks old move along. Their striped coats still soft, their legs still unsteady. They do not yet know they are on their way to their first test. Ahead lies the Mara River, the natural boundary that every animal in the herd must cross. There is no other path. There is no second option. The zebra is Africa's largest seasonal migrant, traveling thousands of kilometers each year in search of new, nutrient-rich grasslands. A foal must stand within 30 minutes of being born, not a miracle. It is the bare minimum required to survive in this ecosystem. It stays close to its mother with every step, a behavior known as shadowing. For the foal, its mother is not just protection, but direction, the entirety of its world. But it has never crossed a river, never faced rushing water, never felt the pull of an invisible current. What lies ahead is a completely new experience. The zebra herd halts at the riverbank. Thousands of individuals stand still. a rare moment in nature when the fastest running species hesitates before a body of water. The Mara River is not wide, but width is not the danger here. The danger lies beneath the surface of the murky red-brown water surging past. Below the surface, Nile crocodiles have been waiting since before the zebra herd arrived. They do not rely on speed, they rely on patience. A fully grown adult can weigh between 500 and 750 kilograms. Its bite force reaches up to 5,000 pounds per square inch, enough to drag an adult zebra underwater in just a few seconds. In the murky water, the Nile crocodile is nearly invisible. This is not merely hiding. It is a perfect attack design refined over hundreds of millions of years of evolution. The Mara River's current this season reaches 3 to 5 meters per second, enough to sweep away any foal that loses its footing, even without a predator present. The riverbed is covered in slippery rocks. One misplaced step is all it takes. The current and the rocky bottom are the first threats the foal must face before the crocodiles. The lead animal steps into the water. Thousands follow, not out of courage, but because the pressure of the herd leaves no other choice. The foal hesitates at the water's edge. The cold water touches its front hooves, a completely new sensation. No memory exists to make it feel familiar. The mother zebra turns her head back, the clearest signal of all, follow me. The foal steps in, not because it understands the danger, but because it cannot stay behind alone. The water rises to its belly. All four legs lose stability on the slippery rocks. The running reflex is triggered, but in water, speed no longer means anything. The foal begins to swim by reflex. Its muscles are not yet strong enough to fight the Mara River's current. Every second that passes, a portion of its energy is swept away. On this bank, hyenas are watching, and they are waiting. The smartest player in any hunt is not always the one who strikes first. The current pushes the foal 2 meters away from its mother. In ordinary circumstances, that distance means nothing. But here, 2 meters is the boundary between safety and danger. Beneath the surface, a crocodile, more than 4 meters long, begins to adjust its angle. No rush, no sound. It is calculating the approach angle and the right moment. The foal falls into a panic, the most dangerous mistake possible in water. Panic disrupts the swimming rhythm, drains energy, and pulls the body deeper beneath the surface. The mother senses it and turns back, breaking from the flow of the moving herd. Turning back means accepting a higher risk, going against the rules of survival. Underwater, a crocodile attacks the nearest adult, not the foal. It is a feint, creating chaos, to isolate the real target. A burst of water explodes. The zebra herd breaks formation, scattering in multiple directions. The foal loses its bearings. Its mother is no longer visible, only water and the sound of chaos. Instinct takes over. No more thinking, only reflex remains. And in those few brief seconds, everything is decided. The crocodile disappears back into the current after its strike. Not visible does not mean safe. In the Mara River, the most dangerous things are usually the ones that cannot be seen. Finally, the foal reaches a narrow strip of land in the middle of the river. It climbs up, gasping, all four legs trembling, but it is still standing. The mother has already reached the far bank. She calls out, the distinctive recognition call of the zebra. Amid the chaos, that is the only signal the foal needs. The second time it steps into the water, the foal no longer hesitates. Its mother's call has overridden the fear, an evolutionary mechanism that prioritizes connection over panic. The second half of the river holds no crocodiles. They have concentrated around the main herd. The foal does not know this. It swims in fear, and that very fear drives it to move faster. The far bank comes into view. It climbs up using every last bit of energy. No technique, no control, only the survival instinct. The mother stands still and waits. She does not move closer. In the language of zebras, standing still is an affirmation. I am here. You must come to me. The foal trembles, coat soaked through, breathing rapid. But it is standing beside its mother, on ground that just minutes before seemed completely out of reach. Not far away, another foal is not so fortunate. Separated from the herd early, it loses its bearings, swept downstream by the current. Its mother cannot find it again. Nature does not distinguish between right and wrong. Only different positions and different moments produce different outcomes. 1 meter in the wrong place is enough to change everything. The crocodile pulls its prey to the bottom, a behavior known as the death roll. No drama, no drawn-out struggle, only a mechanism, executed exactly as it was designed. The rest of the zebra herd continues up the bank, no stopping, no looking back. In herd survival, stopping means increasing the risk for all. The foal stands on this bank and looks back at the river. Its brain cannot process memories the way a human's does, but its body will remember in the way that biology remembers. Instinct is not rewritten by thought, but by experience. Today's fear becomes tomorrow's reflex. That is how nature evolves every living creature. The foal will cross the Mara River many more times in its life. Each time, it steps in faster, more precisely. Survival is a skill learned through fear. In nature, there is no such thing as a safe childhood. To be born is to begin a series of trials. Instinct is not perfect. It must be sharpened through risk and fear. Across the Serengeti grassland, that cycle will continue, season after season, generation after generation, and the Mara River will remain, waiting for Antais, each new foal, to step into the first test of its life. The African savanna and woodlands are home to elephants, a vast environment yet filled with challenges. In every elephant herd, the leader is always an older matriarch, the living archive of the family's knowledge. She doesn't just lead the way, she protects the youngest from constant threats that stalk the plains. Decades of experience allow the matriarch to locate water, food, and safe shelter with remarkable accuracy. But the grasslands offer more than nourishment. They also hide predators waiting for the perfect chance to strike the calves. Every movement of the matriarch has purpose, keeping the herd stable and maintaining a safe zone for the young. The unity and discipline of the herd originate from her leadership. This is the story of a leader, a mother who safeguards life across generations. Elephant herds follow a matriarchal structure. The oldest female decides direction, pace, and daily behavior. Every young calf learns from her how to find water, how to sense danger, and how to communicate through vibrations. As the herd moves, the matriarch constantly monitors the calves to ensure no one falls behind. Calves are kept at the center of the herd, the safest place from predators. Generations of matriarchs pass down knowledge that allows the herd to survive harsh conditions. These lessons maintain herd stability across decades. A matriarchal structure enables quick decision-making in moments of danger. And it is this structure that makes the matriarch a natural leader, without the need for dominance battles. Water dictates the survival of the entire herd. The matriarch remembers each seasonal water hole. During the dry season, the herd must travel farther in search of reliable water sources. The matriarch chooses routes based on terrain and the pace of the calves. Shallow waterholes attract many other species, increasing competition. The matriarch always enters the water first, ensuring safety for those behind her. Some pools hide crocodiles, a rare but deadly threat. Her experience helps the herd avoid the most dangerous areas. After a long journey, the herd finally reaches a safe water source. If a calf wanders even a few meters away, lions may seize the opportunity. The matriarch signals a warning, forcing the herd to close ranks. Lions assess the distance, but attacking adult elephants carries huge risks. The matriarch steps forward, demonstrating overwhelming dominance. A single strike from her trunk or head can severely injure a predator. Understanding the danger, the lions retreat in search of safer opportunities. The matriarch checks the calves' positions before leading the herd onward. Her determination reminds every predator that elephants are far from an easy target. Each new generation grows up carrying lessons passed down by the matriarchs before them. Memories of water sources and migration routes are preserved in the oldest individuals. These memories help the herd endure droughts and shifting landscapes. The matriarch also teaches communication through low-frequency sounds that travel long distances underground. These calls keep the herd connected even when spread across kilometers. Her leadership relies not on strength alone, but on wisdom and guidance. This stability makes elephant herds among the most resilient groups on the savanna. And as the new generation matures, they will one day assume the same protective role. On the savanna, the matriarch's role extends far beyond that of a single individual. She is the memory of the herd, the anchor for its young. Every step she leaves in the soil is a continuation of millions of years of evolution. Through her journey, she keeps the herd safe, strong, and enduring. Life is never easy on the savannah, but the matriarch guides her family through every challenge. Her steadiness is the foundation that allows elephants to survive generation after generation. As the sun sets, a new journey awaits tomorrow. And so, the leader of the herd continues her mission, guiding, protecting, and preserving life in the wild.